Hello and welcome to episode 1 of my Outward tutorial Let's Play series. This episode will be an introduction to Outward. I want to dedicate this series to Femzy, who asked if I could do a series on Outward. I hope you enjoyed the series, Femzy, and thank you for recommending it. Outward is an open world RPG, but with no levels or experience. Instead, you gain power with skills you can buy from trainers dotted around the world, and items you can buy from merchants, find in chests, or hunt creatures and craft items out of the items the creatures drop. And you can craft some very nice weapons that have dots on them, like bleeding and other effects. Outward has co-op play, so you can play with a friend, which means you can do a one-player game or a two-player game, which I will show after the tutorial. Outward can be a tough but rewarding game to play. You may die a lot, but the penalty for dying is light. You just get put in a random location on the map when you die. Again, I will eventually show this, as no doubt I will be doing a lot of dying. Well, possibly not, but I probably will. Outward is developed by 9 Dot Studio. Outward is on Steam and priced at £34.99, so £35 really, or $45. It was released on the 26th of March 2019, and I would recommend actually waiting for a 50% sale on Steam, and then this game will be a real bargain, because it is a lot of fun to play. Anyway, here's a bit of what it says on the Steam store page. No remarkable journey is achieved without great effort. Outward is an open world RPG where the cold of night or an infected wound can be as dangerous as a predator lurking in the dark. Explore the vast world of Ori. Embark on memorable adventures, alone or with your friends. So to summarise, Outward is a very fun game to play, but it can be hard. No doubt there are some of you out there saying, oh no, it's not as easy, but you know, for the average Joe like myself, it can be difficult until you start to get used to it. You will eventually get used to the different maps, and so you'll die less because you won't get lost and it won't get dark, and then you've had it. But as you get used to the maps, even when it becomes night and dark, you'll know where to run. The lighthouse in the first main starting location, once we get in past the tutorial, you can see the lighthouse from halfway across the map, so you know that's a good guide point to how to get back to the town. And you will get used to the combat, which will mean dying less. The combat is quite unique in that you have, if you remove a backpack that you're wearing, you can dodge quicker. You can wear your backpack and still dodge, but it's slower. So anyway, I'll show that. There's no point in even mentioning that yet. I will start by doing the tutorial, as this will give you a taste of what to expect with regards to different game elements. So right, let's have some fun. So I'm going to start with the tutorial in Outward. And as you can see here, you can start by yourself or with a friend. So let's do one player. There is a lot to the game mechanics, as you're going to see when we go along, but I'm going to try not to overwhelm. I'm just going to, as it becomes relevant, explain. That's why I thought the tutorial's nice, because it does allow me to explain each thing as it arises. So let's start by reading this. Welcome to Outward's tutorial. Follow the red line to learn about the game's mechanics. You can bypass parts of the tutorial by not following the red line, but we want to. Okay, so here's the backpacks. First of all, if you press the I key, it brings up your inventory. And at the moment, all the items I pick up would go into my pocket. As you can see, inventory is done by weight capacity. So you have a carry weight of 10. When I pick up this backpack, it's going to give me an additional load of slots with its own weight capacity. So you will then have pocket space you can store stuff in, up to 10, and you can also I will also then have the backpack. So let's pick it up. Now, if I just wanted to open the backpack to see what's in it, I press the F key. And that shows you the contents. It's got nothing in it. So what I'm going to do instead is press the B key, which will equip it. Okay, if I go into the pocket now, you'll see that I've got my pocket space that I mentioned. I've also got now a Nomad backpack, which has now given me this space, which can carry up to 50 items. You can get buy and find better backpacks, which does more than double the space, the store. Well, a lot more than double was one of the backpacks. So that is the way that item management is done in this game. If you pick up too much, eventually you can't move, so you just have to right click on an item and then choose drop. Coins in the game have weight, so when you get to 1,000 silver coins, for example, that would put me overweight if they were in my pocket. But what you can do is, from merchants you can buy gold bars which cost 100 silver coins. I'm going to call these silver coins. So for 100 of these coins you can buy a gold bar, and the gold bar weighs next to nothing, as you're going to see eventually. So just be aware of that with coins in your inventory. So there we go, we've got backpack equips. We've now got 50 extra weight we can carry. Let's carry on. Okay, basics combat. Head down to learn about basic combat. Okay, let's do that. Okay, locking on enemies. Press tab to lock your camera on an enemy, allowing you to hit them more easily. Press tab again to remove the lock. Okay, with this, sometimes I use the tab. If I press the tab key, you'll see it locks on the enemy. Now, if you're using a bow, you must always use the tab lock on the enemy, because otherwise, if you don't, your arrows, you're going to waste all your arrows. Same goes for magic. It just makes it much easier, and you're going to hit your target if you lock on them. But with the melee weapon, which I'm starting with a sword, you don't necessarily have to lock on them. In fact, it can impede you. Now, the thing to remember before going into combat, if you're wearing a backpack, you don't have to take the backpack off, but every time you're hit by the enemy, there's a chance the items in your backpack will get damaged. Items do take wear and eventually will be broken, which you then have to repair. Also, wearing the backpack will slow down your dodge. So if I do the left, the A key, which takes me left, and the space bar at the same time, you'll see I dodge to the left. But it mentioned the fact that I've got my backpack, because it slows it down. So if I press the B key, it'll take the backpack off. Now that can be useful if I'm in a cave and I've got a lantern attached, which I'm going to show in a little while, because the lantern will then give light to all the areas surrounding the backpack. So that can be very useful to know. Anyway, so let's do as the game suggests. I'm going to press the tab key. I've locked on the enemy. Bring out my sword. This enemy's not going to attack me. If I wanted to, I could dodge to the left and to the right. And you see it's much quicker now I've taken the backpack off. But notice it does use the stamina. Now my stamina is regenerating to full at the moment, but after you've done lots of strenuous, as you're doing lots of strenuous things like lifting things, fighting creatures, stuff like that, your stamina goes down, and eventually it will start to have dead space in the stamina. So you'll get less and less stamina that you can use until you rest. When you rest, you get all your stamina back. So anyway, let's fight this creature. I'll explain that when it becomes relevant about the stamina. So you see, you can just keep chopping away. There we go, dead. Dead as a doornail. Stamina went down there. It can be important during fights to watch that, and it might be you've got to run away using the sprint just to circle them. So what a good tactic is lock on them and then do the left A key and the shift key at the same time, and then with the lock on it helps you run around them. Or just use the A key without the shift, which your stamina then, as you can see, will regenerate. Anyway, let's go and take a look over here. Basic attacks. Perform attacks with the left mouse button and special attacks with the middle mouse button. The number of attacks you make before a special attack will change. The number of attacks you make before making a special attack will change which type of strike you will make. So let's demonstrate that. Here's an enemy up here. So if I do one hit and then do the middle mouse button, it does that lunge. If I do 2 hits and then do the middle mouse button, it's doing the same. Then I'm going to try 3 hits. Let's block. Now I'll do the middle mouse button. Right, that's still the same. This time I'm going to do 4 hits. Now middle mouse button. Oh, it's still the same. Let's do 5. Yeah, okay, well before it was showing different ones, but this time it's deciding to show the same. Anyway, you can get different ones. I was doing 3 hits and then doing a special attack, and then doing 5 hits and a special attack, and I noticed it did do different. So I'm going to try and demonstrate that again. Let's carry on. This first episode is 30 minutes, but all the other episodes I will do is 20 minutes. The reason this is 30 minutes is because it's an introductory episode and I wanted to try and demonstrate as much of the game as I could. So let's have a look at this. Blocking with right mouse button prevents the damage from a strike and reduces how much you would be knocked back. Shields consume less stamina when blocking and can block arrows. So that's useful to know if you're up against an archer. Here's a shield. There we go, we've equipped it. If I do the right mouse button, you see it blocks. So let's do that. Let's lock and block. So he hits my shield. It does use a little stamina, but he's not taking any of my health away. And then I can do a mental load attack. They will regenerate their health, so I try to take them out quick. There we go. You notice my stamina was nearly fully depleted. So again, remember, you can just, if you're locked on them, just keep walking around them while your stamina regenerates. You'll get used to it. It's not easy to start with, but you get used to it. If I can, anyone can. Defences. Evade attacks by dodging with space. Though this consumes a fair amount of stamina, you can also move away from attacks by holding left shift to sprint, which I mentioned. Okay, I didn't pick my backpack up, so let's quickly run back and get that. There is another backpack that I could pick up, but there's going to be a lot of items. Where did I drop it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, so just go back. Remember, press B key to put it back on. Okay, so it's talking about the dodge. So I'll need to take the backpack off again. Otherwise it would be slow. Your stability bar is at the bottom of the screen, while enemies have it under their health bar. When one's stability reaches 50%, he is knocked back. When it reaches 0%, he is knocked down. So you'll see in the middle at the bottom of the screen, there's a little white bar directly under that text of read about the stability bar. As you're fighting, that bar can go down. Make sure it doesn't get to 0, otherwise you'd be knocked down. And you don't want that. So let's lock on this guy. Let's get the sword out. Let's try a bit of fighting. his stability went down and he was knocked to the ground. So that's what that's all about. Don't expect the fights to be as easy as this all the time. This is the tutorial, so the game is suckering you into thinking your fights are going to be simple. No, they're not. Well, depending on what gear you've got, of course. Skills. Proceed up the stairs to learn about skills. To assign skills or items to quick slots, open the menu with the I key, then select the quick slot tab and assign them there. Let's demonstrate this. So if I press the I key, up here, let's quickly run through what these all are. So here it starts with the inventory. Oh, let's pick my backpack up on that subject. That's the only thing that you need to try and remember, is that you don't leave your backpack, which I always do, as you can see. But fortunately on the map it gives you a directional arrow back to your backpack, so don't worry about if you forget to pick it up, it will show you on the map. Right, okay, so let's show then the quick slots. If I press the I key, the first one's inventory, the next one along is your equipment that I've got equipped. You'll notice it in the pocket because it puts it all at the very top of your pocket. That's all the stuff that I'm currently using, wielding, equipped. After that you've got your vitals, so health, stamina, mana. Over here, how hungry and thirsty and how tired you are. Over here it's showing you the temperature. All of this is very important. Some zones it could be very hot, other zones can be very cold. So you just got to make sure you wear the right clothing, have the right potions and the right food and plenty of water if it's hot. Next one along shows you the effects. So any negative or positive effects that appear down here on the bottom left of the screen will appear in here, so you can see a detailed description about them. Next is crafting. We're going to have a ton of fun with that because you can make some really effective items with it. And here we have the quick slot. As you can see, the game is already slotted in these skills for me, but let's say I want to use something other than a skill, an item. If you right click, you can assign to quick slot. You can either use skills in the quick slot for the Q, W and R, or you can use items. So I'm going to put, oh, I haven't got any food yet. I could put food in there if I wanted to, or I could put drink, water. So you can see you can use skills or items, and that's the quick slots down here. 1 to 4, you can see it's got skills loaded up, but you can put items as well. Next along you've got the skills themselves, which the game's going to talk about in a bit, and last of all you've got your journal. So as we get quests, yay, quests, and you can get quests, loads of quests, and you can redo some of them, they'll all be in there, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Right, over here, what's over here? Let's have a quick read. Read about spell requirements. Most spells require items in your inventory or an effect active on you, so you either need to buff yourself with one of your skills, or it will require you to have some fire stones or cold stones depending on what type of spell you want to cast. So it's telling us take some fire stones off the table so you can cast fire sigils. Yeah. Take astral potions to replenish your mana. So right, here's some fire stones. Now the magic is very cool in Outward, but it's painful because you have to have the components for some of it, and some of them are very grindy to get. Okay, let's see what this says. Throwing a fireball. First you put the spark and fire sigil skills in your quick slots, and be certain to have fire stones in your inventory, which I just picked up. Cast a fire sigil, then use spark while standing inside the sigil. Right, okay, so remember what I said, lock when using bow or magic. Now the next thing it wants us to do is to cast the fire sigil. On my hotbar in key number 4 is, let's go into the skills and show it. Okay, so here's the fire sigil, this is the spark. This will cast a ring around me. This will cast the fireballs then. So let's demonstrate. So if I do number 4, let's put a nice cool sigil around me. Now every time I press the spark spell, which is number 3, look at that. Look at his health go down. Isn't that cool? Bad news is you won't be using magic for a while when you start playing. Unless, of course, you want to run to the areas, specific areas, but you're not going to know the game at the beginning. So just be aware it will take a while before you start using magic. But that's okay, because it's still a lot of fun. Right, let's carry on. Yeah, so I love that fireball spell. Very cool spell. Weapon skills. Physical skills often require you to wield a specific weapon type or have a status effect active on you, such as the Rage Boon. Fortunately, in slot number 2, it's given me the Rage Boon, so I need to cast that before casting the main skill, which is in hot bar number 1, which is Predator Leap. Assign the Enrage and Predator Leap skills to your quick slots, which the game has done already. Use Enrage to gain the Rage Boon, and only then you can use the Predator Leap, since the Leap requires having Rage active on you. So you'll see it's greyed out number 1 at the moment. So I'm going to lock on them, so it will know where I want to go. And then I'm going to do the Rage Boon, number 2. See, number 1's now active. Here we go. Isn't that cool? Knock down and out. There we go. Yes, that's a very cool skill. You have to be careful when choosing skills and magic when you're buying them from trainers. You only get a certain amount of points, so it's important to get an idea. You're going to need to do several characters. What can I say? You'll try one character for melee, one character for archery, and one character for magic. Because you only get a certain amount of skill points to spend, and they lock you into a certain area, well, you only get so many points. Once you use them up, that's it. That's your chosen path, which you'll see. I will show that eventually. It's all about money to start with in Outward. All about money. I can only show what I can afford to show. Fortunately, I know how to get unlimited money, which I will also be showing, but that's another episode, and that'll be a good one. Okay, for opening gates, you'll see there's just levers. I mean, I'm 50 hours into Outward and enjoyed every moment of it. It can be a bit grindy though, just to warn you. Read about negative effects. Use this elevator to reach the section on negative status effects. Okay. So we want to climb onto the lift and then use it. Status effects are displayed at the bottom left of the screen. You can see down there that Rage Boon is still active. That's where your positive and negative effects will get shown. Removing negative effects is important between battles. For example, bleeding deals damage over time and is healed with bandages. Now that's important. Well, it's just told you there. Bleeding deals damage over time and is healed with bandages. Over here is a trap. When I step on the trap, I'm going to start to bleed, and I can either use food to... Well, actually no, you need to use a bandage to stop that bleeding. So let's pick up his antidotes for if I get poisoned, and here's some bandages. Okay, let's do a quick slot for Aura. So if we go to this quick slot, if I right click Q, assign quick slot to item, choose bandages, you see they're on Q now. E, let's see, let's do R, oops, R, assign items, and we do antidote. There's no poisoning in this dungeon, so I'm not even going to need to use that, but that demonstrates just how you can do that. So you've got limited amount of quick slots, 8 in total. These, if you're a PC user, these are handily around the keys you use for moving around, although that's what half the difficulty is playing on PC, is the keys can get tricky, especially when you're trying to dodge, leap and duck and all of this other stuff. In the end, you're pushing all the wrong keys, drinking potions and bandaging, while some bigger nasty creatures smacking you with their axe. So that is half the difficulty with the keys. Right, okay, notice my health. We go into my inventory and go to here, this one. My health 92 out of 95. Watch what happens when I step on the trap. At the moment I've only got the rage boon. Boom. Okay, so what's going on now? If we take a look, I'm bleeding. I've got bleeding damage, and unless I use a bandage, I'm going to bleed out. I'm going to bleeding die. Well, possibly, but it's using up all my health. So press Q. There you go. Do a quick bandage. That then stops the bleeding. You see the bleeding icon went, and we got the little red cross, which means we're going to be regenerating health for 36 seconds. Food is much better for regenerating health, but at least the bandages stop the bleeding. And now you'll notice my health is going to go back up. There you go, slowly regenerating back up, and that will last for the amount of seconds it tells you there. Oh, it says I'm thirsty. I don't think I've got any drink yet. No, I haven't, so I better carry on. Too much waffling. Oh, dang it, I've just walked over the spikes again. Another bandage. I always do that. Right, so let's call the lift. If a fool such as I can play this and enjoy it and do well, I'm sure you can as well. Character needs. Proceed to learn about food and drink, which are two of the character's needs. Yeah, food is very great for restoring health, mana and stamina. Right, what's this one say? Hunger and thirst. Appease your thirst and hunger or you will pass out. That wouldn't be good. Animals and plants provide food, while bodies of water can quench your thirst, though you will need a water skin to carry water with you. On that subject of getting water from bodies of water, you need to boil the water, otherwise there's a chance of you getting a negative effect. So be aware of that. Here's some water skins, which we will be needing, and here is a sort of water source. Now this one, and notice it says clean water. Well, if you're getting water from a lake or the sea, it will not be clean water. You need to boil it first, but this is clean, so I can just drink it. If you do just press the F key, it gathers water into your water skins. If you keep the F key pressed, you will actually drink some. And anything else? Okay. Let's take some soothing tea. Why not? Might soothe me. We could all do with soothing, couldn't we? Oh, gather some marshmallow. Nice food source. Keep the F key pressed and it will gather. It's telling me I still need to bandage, if you're wondering what that icon is over by my health, so let's do it. Actually no, I'm going to be eating, so that will get my health back up. Illnesses. Cook your meat and boil your water so as not to become ill. It takes a long time to recover from illness through medicinal teas, though medicinal teas can help. That's the soothing tea, so let's show it. So I just picked up. Is that it there? No, that's astral potions. Where did it put the soothing tea? Oh, there it is. Duh. So, soothing tea, concoction that cures the common cold and restores burnt mana. So on the subject of burnt, you'll notice with my health, this first little bit of health here, or it's the last bit of the health, is sort of greyed out. That means it's burnt. that means I don't get back this health until I sleep. When I sleep, it will regenerate fully all the way back up full. Same goes for, oh look, there's the timer. Same goes for the stamina. This stamina here that's greyed out is burnt stamina. I won't get that back until I either drink a potion that replenishes it, food that replenishes it, or sleep in a bed. And the same for mana. I haven't got any burnt mana at the moment because I haven't done much casting. So there we go. That is that. Right, I think I'll end the episode here. There's only so much of my waffling after all that you probably can put up with. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day, and I hope 2020 is a good year for you. Goodbye.